Hello everybody, I'm the Baking Queen and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a fan favorite that you can find at local amusement parks and fairgrounds. Today I'm going to show you how to make churros at home. This recipe is fairly basic and easy to follow, so you're going to need a few ingredients, of course. What you're going to need is you're going to need a cup of water and a pot or a pan to cook down your ingredients in the beginning. You're also going to need 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter. You're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We like to use kosher salt. You're going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. You're going to need 1 1/4 cup of an all-purpose flour. You're going to need 3 whole eggs. And then for your, you're going to need some oil, about 1.5 cups of oil when you go to fry your churros. And then you're going to need something for your topping. Now the basic churro is a cinnamon sugar mixture. So I have here about 1/2 cup of sugar and then 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. We're going to mix that up and then that's what we're going to use to roll around some of our churros. And then I'm going to do something a little special. I'm going to make a chocolate churro. Now this is the same basic churro, but the topping is going to be a chocolate. And what I did is I took my 1/2 cup of sugar and I added 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder to that. And that's going to give you a nice sweet chocolate flavor across your churro. So now that we've got everything together, let's get started. Alright everybody, so we're going to start putting all of our ingredients in this pot. I've turned my stovetop up to a high setting. I have an electric burner here. So we have our water in here. So we have our 1 cup of water in our pot. We're going to take our 8 tablespoons, or generally 1 stick of our unsalted butter. That's going to go in there as well. Then we got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'll get my little measuring spoon here. So 1/4 teaspoon of salt. There we go. And then our 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Alright, so everything's in our pot. We have our temperature turned up quite high because we want the butter to melt and we want all this stuff to come to a boil. So that's what we're looking for. Everything to melt down, everything to mix together, and then this whole thing to come to a boil. Now also when you go to mix this, for the next step you want to have a sturdy spoon, spatula, whatever you have available that's really sturdy and can handle a lot of force, because we're going to mix in our flour after this and it's going to create the dough part. So you want your spoon, spatula, whatever you're using not to be really flimsy, to be quite firm. And I'm pushing my pot off my heat trying to show you guys this. Okay, so we're going to let this melt down and come to a boil and then we'll move on. Alright, so our mixture has come to a boil, which is what you want. So we now turn down our heat to a low, and we're going to add in our flour. So again, it's 1 1/4 cups of AP flour, and just dump it in there. And you're just going to start mixing, and this should form your dough. Oh yes, 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 yes. And once you get kind of a dough, you can go ahead and turn your oven off and take it off the heat. And make sure your flour is incorporated in there really, really well. So you may have to use whatever you're using to mix it. Make sure it's You don't have any chunks of flour. Look at that. This is so easy. Oh yes, very nice. Alright, so there is our dough. Now what you're going to do is you're going to let this sit. And it's going to sit for, probably a good 6 minutes or so to cool it down a little bit, because this is extremely hot right now. Because if you remember, we still got to mix in our eggs. So you don't want to do it at this stage, because you'll just end up cooking your eggs and you'll have scrambled eggs in your churro. So you don't want to do that. So this is our dough. Nice and cute and pretty. Look at that. Nice, yeah. So we're going to let this sit for about 6 minutes. And I'm just going to put it on the back part of the stove so it's not hot. So it can cool down a little bit. And then we're going to add in our eggs on the next step. Alright everybody, so my dough has cooled down a little bit. It's still warm. It's not hot though. So we're going to go ahead and start adding in our eggs. And we're going to do this one at a time. So take your one egg, go ahead and crack it and put it in there. And mix vigorously, because you don't want this to cook the egg. You want it to actually mix into your dough. And I am making a mess, but that's okay. So we're mixing. Looks like it's gonna do pretty good. It's not gonna be too bad. Now you could put this on your stand mixer and put your beater attachment on and mix it in. I think the problem is you don't want to over mix your dough. So if you're afraid that you might over mix, this might be your best bet. But if you want to, I guess, not kill your arm from all the mixing, maybe you're not strong enough to be able to do that, then I would say if you have a stand mixer, put it on your stand mixer. But this dough it's quite thick. It's not super thin, and I mean the egg will probably thin it out a little bit, but it's got a good thickness to it. So we're just going to keep on mixing until all of our egg is incorporated into our dough. Look at that. Oh, this is going to be so good. Yes, 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 yes. Like I said, it is a thick dough, so it's not gonna be super easy to mix it. So just keep that in mind when you go to do this. My last egg, right in there. That's 3 eggs, not cooked. So that's good. We won't have scrambled egg churros, because I mean, who wants a scrambled egg churro? Maybe a breakfast churro? I don't know. So yeah, so you just keep mixing. You're incorporating your egg into the dough over and over again until it's all incorporated and you have this nice kind of doughy dough ball. Now remember, the other thing is you don't want to over mix it, because if it becomes too firm, you have to pipe this later, which you'll see when you go to fry these. And so you don't want a dough that is just so thick that you're giving yourself carpal tunnel to get it out of your bag. So that's one of the other things. Now see, this is starting to come together. I can feel it coming together a lot better now. Oh my god, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be buttery and cinnamony and just delicious. And then the chocolate ones, oh my god. Yeah. I think I'm ready for some churros. So yeah, so you keep on mixing. It looks like we have incorporated our eggs really well. Like I said, it is a thick dough. It's not a thin dough at all, which is what you want. Basically like a donut type dough, if you will. It's a little sticky, but that's probably because it's so wet. All right. So there you have it. There's our dough. Whoops. It's all mixed up. It's all ready to go. So now we just gotta fry these things up and roll them in our topping. So here we go. All right, everybody. So our oil is nice and hot on our stove here. You're gonna want one of these strainer things, easier to get out your churro pieces with. You're gonna want a paper plate with a towel on it, so you can catch the grease and let those dry. And then you're going to want a plate. I do a plate with my cinnamon sugar concoction in it. It's easier for me to roll my churros around in this. And so I will show you here in just a minute. So I got our dough and I have it in a pastry bag with a star tip on the end. So we have more of a authentic looking churro. You want you a good pair of scissors, clean scissors, because what you're going to do is you're going to pipe some churro and cut. Pipe it, cut, and just drop it right into your oil. These are going to fry up pretty quick. You can also do this with a knife if you don't want to use scissors. And you just want to drop them in. Make them all about the same size. They're going to fry up rather quickly. It shouldn't take too long for these to come together. Let's just do that many for right now. You could probably see them browning already. So yeah, you just want to get them to a nice golden brown color. I have my oil up pretty high. Turn it down just a little bit. So you're just going to fry these up. That one looks like it's ready to go. Take them out, kind of shake off some of the oil. Look at these, oh my god. Put them on your plate that has the paper towel. And we give these a little bit longer, but not too much longer. Okay. I think these are good. Oh, beautiful color on these. Look at that. Oh my god, can you see that? I'm dripping oil all over my stove. Oh my goodness. Okay. So then we're going to put these over here on this plate with the paper towel. See if I can balance that. Alright, so let's see how good I can be at doing this. Alright, so you have your paper towel. They don't have to sit here for too long, but remember they are hot. They just came out of the fryer. So I'm going to take the ones that I did first. I'm just going to put them in my sugar and give them a toss. I have another plate over here. Give them a toss. And there is my homemade churros. And trust me, let me just, oh, I just gotta. Oh my god. These are so good. These are so good. Oh my god. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I also made my chocolate sugar. This was the half cup sugar and the 2 teaspoons of cocoa powder. So I'm just going to take one of these. Same thing, just give it a roll through my sugar, cocoa powder. There that one is. Looking all nice and deliciousness. Look at this. Oh, I've just got to, sorry. Oh my goodness. So there you have it. That's how you're going to make your homemade churros. Alright guys, so here's our final product of our churros at home. As you can see, we did the normal cinnamon and sugar kind. We also did a chocolate variety. There it is. They look so good. They look like I'm at the park, I'm at the fair. They're just lovely. I mean, and these are so easy to do, especially for a quick snack. If you have kids, I mean, other than the frying part, of course, this is probably something you could do with them. I'm sure they'd be amazed that, oh my God, we're making something that we can only get when we go to, you know, the theme park or the fair or somewhere special like that. So now you can make those little special memories at home. And they're so good. They're so delicious. They're wonderful. So I hope I've given you some tips and tricks on how to make your own churros at home, including the different variety, including the chocolate here. Don't be afraid to experiment, throw in some other flavors, do what you want. I know there's all kinds of other flavored churros out there, so don't be afraid to mix it up and try something new every now and then. You might be surprised what you come up with. So until next time everybody, just keep on baking.